free dining, tickets, the best time to go to Disney World, should my kid go? We get asked a lot of questions about Walt Disney World here at DFB and Disney Food Blog, and today we're answering a bunch of the questions you guys ask us all the time, so hopefully this is helpful for those of you going for the first time and for the 50th time. AJ from Disney Food Blog, and today we're going to talk about 14 things people always ask us about Walt Disney World and their trips. We're going to dive right in with when is the best time to go. Well, it depends on what you want. Lower crowds, typically the beginning of the year. January and February will be a bit slower as long as you avoid those 3-day weekends. And as a general rule, holidays are going to be the most crowded. So by holidays, we mean school holidays, summer, Christmas, Easter break, spring break. Those are going to be the busiest times. But there's ways to mitigate the extra people if you can only travel over Memorial Day or 4th of July. Now, Christmas at Disney comes with all kinds of extra activities and atmosphere, but all of that runs for about a month before, and depending on the park and event, it might continue into the new year, so you can get access to all that fun holiday stuff in the weeks before Christmas actually hits, and it's not going to be as busy. So those are the best times to go. Now go check out our video called The Disney Calendar, and that will talk about specific times during the year that you want to avoid and the times during the year that are the best times to go. We cover the whole year. We talk about things nobody's ever heard of that affect Disney crowd levels, like Jersey Week and things like that, and that'll give you a lot of details about when the best time is to go. So go check out that video. Next question, how can I save some money? So our DFB guide has loads of money saving tips in it, as you guys know. So if you really want all of our tips and tricks about how to get discounts and save money at Disney World, head over to dfbstore.com and pick up the DFB guide. But here's a few to get you off to the right start. 1, never book a room at rack rate. Disney is always offering discounts and special packages, so you can find them on the special offers tab on the Disney World website. The only reason you would want to book a room at rack rate is if you are getting maybe the free dining plan or something like that that creates discounts elsewhere in your trip. Next, affiliate groups like annual pass holders and Disney Vacation Club can get you some extra discounts on rooms, food, and merchandise, so be sure you're aware of all of those perks before you get to Disney World. And remember, if one person in your group has an annual pass, everyone gets to reap those benefits. Also, plenty of restaurants offer loyalty programs and discounts as well. For example, the Patina Group, which operates restaurants of the Italy Pavilion and several in Disney Springs and also in Disneyland, they offer a free subscription list and they'll send you offers and deals plus $30 to $50 offers for your birthday. Landry's loyalty program gets you perks like priority seating, rewards points, $25 for signing up, and an extra $25 during your birthday month for the restaurants they run in Disney World like Yak and Yeti, Rainforest Cafe, and T-Rex. Now, like I said, there's so many discounts to be talked about. All of that stuff is on Disney Food Blog and in our DFB guide, so go check that out over there. There's tons to talk about, and I believe we've got a couple of discounts videos around here somewhere as well. Next question, what do I do if I have a food allergy? So Disney is really amazing at handling allergies and special diets. Guests can contact Disney World directly to discuss allergies or other dining needs before their visit. And you can also specify your dining allergy when you check into a table service restaurant and remind your server as well. A chef will come out to talk to you about the menu options or walk you through a buffet. Also, don't forget to note when you're making your reservations, online or in My Disney Experience, that you do have a dining allergy. There is a screen where you can enter that information ahead of time. Allergen menus are also available, so just request one when you sit down if you didn't automatically get one when you sat at your table service restaurant. Now, if you have any other questions or concerns at a quick service or snack location, ask a server or your cast member, and they should be able to answer those questions for you. Next question, when do buses, monorails, and boats run? So the free Disney transportation hours are as follows. Buses start running 45 minutes prior to park opening to 2 hours after park closing. Monorails are running 30 minutes prior to the earliest park opening and 1 hour after the latest park closing. And boats vary by destination and water and weather conditions. Now, when it comes to Disney's Magical Express, it goes 24 hours a day, but you will need to pick up your luggage on your own at the airport if it's after 10 p.m. Now, if your flight gets in late, no worries, just head to the pickup area on the first floor of MCO Airport and they'll get you on the next bus to your resort. So don't forget, if you're trying to get somewhere on Walt Disney World property and the buses, boats, and monorails are not running, you can take a minivan which is booked through the Lyft app, or you can take a regular taxi or cab, or a regular Uber or Lyft. Disney cast members won't leave you stranded. If there's a situation where you are stuck someplace and there's no transportation running, find a Disney cast member and they will help you figure out your options. Next question, are hard ticket events worth the price? So we have an entire video on the pros and cons of after hours events and hard ticketed events. Like many extras at Disney World, it really depends on your budget, how you like to travel, and what you're looking to get out of your vacation. So hard ticketed events like after hours and early morning magic typically get you shorter wait times along with complimentary food and snacks. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party might not have as short a wait time as the after hours and early morning magic events, but there's extra entertainment and ride overlays that make them unique experiences in the Magic Kingdom. And those dessert parties can get you some amazing views and even a guaranteed ride on a Tier 1 attraction, like the Frozen Ever After dessert party lets you get onto Frozen Ever After, which is pretty great. Overall, the added cost might not be worth it if you have a larger family or if you're trying to do lots of stuff in Walt Disney World that costs extra. But if you're on a short trip or traveling with those who don't like crowds or can't handle crowds, then these events really can be worth the money. You basically have to crunch the numbers, figure out, do you want to stay an extra night at Disney World or do you want to pay for one of those extra bonus events? So figure out where your budget makes the most sense. But like we said, we do have a whole video on after hours with the pros and cons, and we've also got videos all about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and even a whole video helping you figure out which dessert party makes the most sense for your family. Next question, is my kid too young? Now this is entirely up to you. This is one of those hard questions we get asked all the time that I can't answer because I'm not you. I can't figure out what makes the most sense for your specific child. But I will say that I've seen brand new babies, like just coming from the hospital kind of babies at Disney World. My child was there when he was 8 weeks old. So there's really no cutoff age. I mean, you can take any age baby there, any age child at Disney World. If your kid is under 3, they're free. That's an important thing to remember. So if you take your kid kind of 1 week shy of their 3rd birthday, you'll get a lot of benefit out of that if they're already interested in riding some rides, meeting characters, and things like that, because they're completely free and they eat free and all of that. And there's still plenty of rides and shows that they can experience and enjoy. And a lot of people will say, even if they won't remember it, you will, and they're only little once. And there's really something special about seeing Disney magic through the eyes of a child. That said, if you have a kid who's a bit of a handful, then they will be a handful in Disney World. So if you're spending a lot of money to chase your kid around or have a kid who's being moody or difficult, then it might not be the best use of your money. You may want to wait till they're a little bit older, can walk around themselves, don't have to get a stroller, etc. So there are lots of things to take into consideration when you're thinking about your kids. If now's your one and only time that you can go to Disney World, then yeah, bundle up that kiddo and bring them with you. But if there may be an opportunity a few years down the road and you know that your kid's going to enjoy it more then take them then. Again, it also depends on whether your child has issues with characters or is scared of rides. But if you're going to end up being in a park where you can't actually do anything, that could be a factor as well. So think through all of those circumstances and figure out if it makes the most sense for you, your family, and your budget at the time. Next question, is the Disney dining plan worth it? Now this is something we get asked all the time, and it's a pretty tricky one as it really depends on your travel group. So if you like the idea of having your meals prepaid, this can take a lot of stress away during your trip. It almost becomes all-inclusive, which is a big benefit to some people, and that alone makes the Disney dining plan quote-unquote worth it. Now if you're big eaters or you will always be ordering the steak and lobster, then the dining plan can be a decent deal. It can save you some money, and by money I mean probably less than $100. But to do that, you would have to eat every single item on the dining plan, and you'd have to eat the most expensive version of every credit. So if you're a vegetarian, if you're not going to be eating the most expensive items, or if you don't want that much food, then you probably won't save a lot of money with the dining plan. So crunch those numbers, and our DFB guide has a whole section that prices out the Disney dining plan versus out-of-pocket costs to help you decide which makes the most sense for you. Now, are there vegetarian and vegan options? We get asked that a lot here as well. So you've got options for vegetarian and vegan, keto, gluten-free, all over the parks. But one location that hits most dietary needs is Sanaa at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's a great one, great food, and has lots of options for lots of different dining preferences. Now, quick service locations will be able to pull up ingredient lists should you need them, and there's a new plant-based cuisine guide that just debuted in Magic Kingdom. We expect it to be in other parks soon. And Disney is focusing on vegetarian-friendly options more than ever. Some of our favorite new dishes have been vegetarian, like the Ithorian Garden Loaf at Docking Bay 7 and Galaxy's Edge, or the gnocchi at Storybook Dining in Wilderness Lodge. So there's lots of options for you. Just do your research ahead of time and figure out where you want to spend your money. Next question we get asked all the time, do you think free dining will be released? So the free Disney dining plan is a discount promotion that Disney runs during certain times of the year to book hotel rooms and get people into the parks when the parks are slow. So free dining can save you quite a bit of money, and it's no wonder people are always hoping that those free dining deals would pop up for their visits. Disney has frequently released free dining for periods in the beginning of the year and the beginning of fall, but you can never count on them to offer a deal at the same time they did last year. We really never know what's going to happen, and they base it around major events that are happening, ride openings, for example, Galaxy's Edge opening. That sort of shifted the free dining offer this year. We actually had 2 free dining offers this year in 2019. You just never know. So Disney typically releases deals about 4 to 6 months in advance, which may mean some last minute planning and booking if you want to snag it. And we recommend booking the room that you want first, and then if free dining is offered, try to add that onto your existing reservation or make a new reservation with free dining. So you don't want to miss out on your perfect room by waiting for free dining to roll around. Book your room and then apply any discounts that come along later. Next question, which tickets should I buy? So let's do a quick rundown. Single park tickets, single day single park tickets start at $109 per day. This is the cheapest, but it locks you into set plans, so it might be fine if you've grabbed all the fast passes and advanced dining reservations you need for a specific day in one specific park. But if there's any park hopping options that you may still need, you may want to get a park hopper, which starts at $169 per day. This one gives you flexibility to hit rope drop, then hop to a less crowded park, and you can be a little bit more spontaneous with your choices. The Park Hopper Plus gives you access to water parks as well. So if you're making multiple trips in one year, be sure to price out the annual pass to see if you'll break even. And remember, those extra discounts you'll get as an annual pass holder can help to make that a better deal for you. So single park tickets, park hopper tickets, annual passes are the main tickets, but there's also some other ticket options that Disney offers that you want to check out on their website and on Disney Food Blog. As a general rule, I tend to like to purchase park hopper tickets because you never really know what's going to happen in your day. Next question, do I need a car? So while having a car at Disney World can certainly be convenient, especially if you're staying off-site or visiting other theme parks in the Orlando area, you don't need to rent one if you're just staying on Disney World property. So Disney has tons of transportation options, both free and paid, to get you literally everywhere you could need to be. But don't forget about those resort parking fees, which just increased to $15 for value resorts, $20 for moderates, and $25 for deluxe resorts per night. That's going to be a huge impact on someone staying 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. We're talking hundreds of potential dollars being spent on your parking costs if you do decide to bring a car. So it does give you more flexibility. You do get around places faster. But if you're staying on Disney Resort property, you will have to pay extra for parking. So you want to crunch those numbers again and figure out what makes the most sense for you and your family. Don't forget, if you do want to just have a car for a couple of days, if you happen to be staying on Disney property and going mostly to Disney parks, but you're going to hit Universal or another park for like 1 or 2 days, you can rent a car on Disney property at the Car Care Center or at the Swan and Dolphin Resorts. Do I need to make advanced dining reservations? The short answer, yes. If you want to be sure you'll get to dine everywhere you want to, you should definitely plan on making advanced dining reservations. We strongly recommend them, particularly for restaurants like Cinderella's Royal Table, Be Our Guest, or Ohana, and other hard to get into restaurants. However, there are a few places that are typically easier to get into last minute or without a reservation, like the Grand Floridian Cafe, Kona Cafe, Sanaa, or Skipper Canteen. You can also dine in the signature restaurant lounges. Many, like California Grill Lounge, offer the full dinner menu in the lounge, while others, like Nomad Lounge, have their own small plate menu. So there's lots of places to eat even if you don't have advanced dining reservations, but if there are a few restaurants you really don't want to miss out on, go ahead and make those advanced dining reservations. Remember, they're completely free to make. You do have to put a credit card guarantee on them, but that's only so that if you're a no-show, they'll charge you $10 per person. You can cancel up to 24 hours in advance and not have any charge at all. Next question, do I have to tip? While tipping in the United States is still considered optional, that is, it's not required. But tipping is customary across the board at table service restaurants and for things like housekeeping, valet, and luggage service. So usually guests tip a minimum of 18 to 20% at table service restaurants. And even if you have exceptionally poor service, you should still usually tip 15%. At least that's my thinking. Now remember, Tables in Wonderland card users should know that an 18% gratuity is included in your meal price, even if they don't point it out to you. And if you're on the Disney dining plan, know that gratuity is not included in the plan, so you'll need to budget accordingly for those extra hidden costs. Now, this is a question I get asked all the time. Every interview I do, I get asked this question. What's your favorite counter service, table service snack in Disney World? As the Disney Food Blog, this is something we get asked all the time. And the short answer is it changes all the time because Disney restaurants are inconsistent. I always like to say the only consistent thing about Disney restaurants is that they're inconsistent, which is why we go back to them all the time. We always want to make sure we have an updated review and updated thinking on how good the restaurant is in terms of menu, service, food quality, and overall atmosphere and experience. Now, I also like to say that it's not my job to tell you what's good or bad. It's our job here at DFB to let you know if a restaurant's right for you and your family. There are several restaurants in Disney World that I wouldn't say have great food, but they have good experiences, a great atmosphere, and will serve their purpose for a specific kind of guest. So my job is to give you an overall understanding of what to expect for your money at a restaurant and help you make the decision whether or not it's right for you and your family. So if you do want my personal recommendations or the recommendations of our team here at DFB, our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining has lots of recommendations in every field: counter service, quick service, snacks, kiosks, table service. All of those are laid out and we update it every single year so that you know what our favorites are this year. And that's all in the DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining, which you can pick up over at dfbstore.com. If you do pick it up, thank you for supporting us, and you can use code YouTube to get a discount over there. So we've got all of our up-to-date recommendations in that guide. And hopefully that'll help you narrow down which restaurants are perfect for you and your family. Not which restaurants are good or bad, but which restaurants are right for you at this time. So my favorite restaurants suit me. There are things that I enjoy, there are things that I like, and there are things that make sense for my family and me at this time, but they may not be right for you guys. So I don't like to answer that question straight up because A, the answer changes all the time. Literally every time I go to Disney World, the answer changes. And also because things that might be right for me may not be right for you and your family. So get a better understanding by reading our reviews, going through and seeing what you can expect for your money, looking at the pictures of the food so you can get an idea of what's included, and seeing the atmosphere of the restaurants. T-Rex in Disney Springs might be perfect for a family with a kiddo who loves dinosaurs, but it's not going to be right for honeymooners most likely. So our job is to help you understand which ones are right for you. So we hope you keep sending your questions in. We love answering your questions, and I hope we're doing a good job at it. But we thank you guys so much for your support here on DFB. We thank you for watching. We thank you for listening. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.